Confession number 1. Stereotype sensitivity. Lots of people probably don't expressly know this. A select few do. I'm not exactly overjoyed to be black. Yeah, let that sink in. Unfathomable, right? But before it sinks in too much, let me clarify. It's not that I'm not proud to wear this beautiful skin that I have. I mean, like, Wakanda forever, you know? It's nice to be beautiful, fair-skinned, self-proclaimed sex god, but the stereotypes, that's where it gets me. Do keep in mind, when I say stereotypes, I don't mean like watermelon and chicken lols. I'm talking about the real stuff. Everything in society that says by most definitions, I am predisposed to be a bad person. Morally, I'm genetically guilty of misogyny and homophobia, and I'll probably beat your ass for looking at me the wrong way, just to further assert my dominance. Financially, I'm a joke, and probably treat debt like it's natural in my life as the liquor that I spent my actual rent money on in order to post photos of me drinking to Insta. Romantically, women of my own culture are either blindly disposed to become addicted to me, demanding that I be the worst person I can be so people will fear simple interaction, ultimately casting something like a safety net around us, but she'll ultimately decide there's more safety in abstaining from men of her race in general, kind of like so many women of other races have already chosen to abstain from me. Intellectually, my ancestry is built upon an ignorance that was forced on me, and is further perpetuated by my uneducated concept of choice, digging the hole deeper and claiming to love it so that every goddamn conversation I ever have is merely the act of the other person waiting to laugh at the ridiculous shit I'll have to say. And finally, paternally, I know so little about my own father that I find it impossible to see myself as one. Although, if the government gets a hold of me, around 60% of my paycheck will remind me that I am a father multiple times over each month. And yeah, that's my life, even before I took a breath. And it seems like every breath I take is either taken in favor of or in spite of this story. Don't get me wrong, this isn't me being another black stereotype by whining about Mein Kampf, my struggle for those of you who aren't Hitler inclined. You see, it's a joke referencing that all races have struggles in a risque sort of fashion. Feel free to laugh. Jokes aside, most people know about white guilt. That makes sense. This preconceived notion that white people have a lot to apologize for, and every reparation that is made is a drop in the bucket to fill an ocean of debt that they owe the world, right? Well, I have that too. For me, as a young black man who seeks to make his life into something good, there's so much guilt. If I do too well, I am abandoning those of my race who aren't. To them, I talk too good. I know too much. I got that privilege I don't deserve. I'm acting better than them. I might as well be white because I share in the guilt. If I'm not doing well, if I make a mistake, it's because the devil's in my genes. My anger isn't justified as anger any more than a schizophrenic's fears can be justified as sensible. It's just in my nature. I'm just born this way. And on top of that, if I'm not doing well and I express it, I have committed the ultimate sin. I've become a lazy, good-for-nothing who is asking for compassion like all of my ancestors asked for handouts. And obviously, the pool has run dry for us people who can't pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and make things better. It isn't okay to have a real feeling, because my DNA can explain all of my life in advance. And it's even worse to express those feelings because whether it's joy or happiness, either my joy is spilt in spite of my flaws I obviously carry, and therefore is diluted, or my anguish was boiled in the pot of comforts that I did not earn, making my suffering illegitimate. So where does this leave me? All whining aside, I'm no more restricted by my race as the next guy. Gal, non-binary, is restricted by their chosen gender. But what I am saying is that intellectually, the environment drawn on the map of life that is painted upon my skin has limited what I can imagine my life looking like as a good black man. Am I the high roller with plenty of flaws, but who also has enough money to never have to confront them? Am I the whitewashed Uncle Tom who shut out his origins in favor of the fruits of a different culture entirely? Or do I fall into any one of the archetypes that obviously crossed your mind as you were reading any and every part of this post? In truth, my greatest struggle with my heritage isn't how it's limited my opportunities. It's how it limited my ability to see the light in any place that could be darkened by the glow of my skin.